Okay, so we are going to begin working on the Scott Friends packet. So make sure that you have this um, all printed off or that you've written it down on a piece of paper, kind of similar to what we have here. And we're going to go through this together. Now you want to pay very close attention because basically everything we do in this packet, you're going to do for your own project. Okay, so this is kind of like this is my project and I'm going through how I did it. And you're going to follow basically what I did here step for step with your own project idea and your own data. Okay, so if you read the top of this, it says Got Friends, comparing cell phone contacts of males and females. So one of the things you're going to do with your project is you have to be comparing two things. Like I am comparing males to females. You could compare 7th grade to 8th grade. You could compare junior high to high school. You could also do males and females. You could do adults to a student. Okay, but you are comparing two things. The second is when you pick your topic, it's a topic that when they give you an answer, the answer has to be a number. So you can't ask them favorite pop because the answer is not a number. Dr. Pepper is not a number. I'm asking number of contacts in someone's cell phone is what my topic is. And so the answer they give me back is a number because you can't find mean, median, and mode of Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, and Mountain Dew. So it has to be a question that the answer back is a number. Okay, so my question is, we are going to look at the difference in the number of cell phone contacts in the phones of 7th grade males versus 7th grade females. Okay, so we're talking 7th grade males versus 7th grade females. This is a project I've done in the past. Okay, so we're going to pretend like I got this data from your classmates, although this is from past classmates or past 7th grade students because I haven't asked your class yet. So the first thing I want you to do is go to number 1 on your sheet and I want you to write that down. Make your prediction right now. Who do you think is going to, on average, okay, is it going to be the males or the females that have more contacts? And then put why you think that. Go ahead and pause this video and do that now. Okay, on paused, you want to make sure that that's kind of an inference because it's a prediction, all right? I've had a lot of answers in the past. I've had, well, females because females talk on the phone more. Just because I talk on the phone more doesn't mean I have more contacts. I only ever talk to my mom and my husband. I don't talk to anyone else on the phone. I've heard before females, because they tend to remember to save numbers, who are males, will put a phone number in, call someone, and then not save it. So they just simply don't have them in their contacts. So you make sure that you have a reason behind that. And you're going to do that with your own project. Before you collect data, you're going to make that prediction. Second step is collecting the data. So we're going to pretend like I already did. And so I'm going to show this to you and you're going to pause and you're going to write this down. So here you go. Pause this and write it down. Okay, so we're going to, basically what I did is I have asked some males, 7th graders, how many contacts do you have in your phone? And these are the answers I got. So I have 10 males that were asked and 11 females that were asked, and those were the answer. There's no order. This is the order in which I asked them. They're not numerical order, nothing. This is the raw data. I simply just wrote down the answers they gave me. Okay? Now, on the back of the first page is what we're going to start doing now. We have to organize that data. And we're going to organize it in what we call a stem and leaf plot. If your data is small enough, like you only have 5 numbers, you could, and I only have 10, so it's not bad. You could just write them in order, but I am going to show you a stem and leaf plot. Okay, and here's what a stem and leaf plot is. Basically, you're going to make kind of a T-chart like this, okay, where the 10s go here and the 1s go here. And you don't have to write this down. I'm just telling you. So the 10s go here and the 1s go here. So for example, if I'm looking at the number 57, I would have the 5 here and the 7 here. So I want to look at I'm doing males. I want to look at my numbers. My smallest number is 28 and my largest number is 100. So my 10s are my 20s to my 100s. So I want to number my 10s 2 through 10. I could start at 0, but I don't have to. So I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so those are my 10 spot. 2 meaning 20, 3 meaning 30, 4 meaning 40, so on and so forth. So now I'm going to put my data in. Okay, I'm going to use a pencil. You want to use a pencil for this part. So 100, the 10 is here, so I'm going to put the 1 is a 0. So this number represents 100. My next number is 57. So I'm going to do a 7 minus on my 50 behind my 50. So that's 57. My 10s is 5, my 1s is 7. Then I have 93. So I'm going to go to my 9 and put a 3 for 93. My next number is 28. Okay, so I have to go back here and go to where the 2 is and put an 8 behind it. My next number is 62. So I'm going to go to my 6 and put a 2 behind it. My next number is 84. So I'm going to put a 4 behind my 8 because that's 84. Then I have 93. So there's already a 3 there. I'm just going to put another 3. So what that means, that tells me I have 93 and I have 93 again. That there's two 90s, two numbers in the 90s, 93 and 93. Okay. Then I have 75. So I'm going to put a 5 behind the 7. And then I have 65. So I have to put the 5 in the line of the 6. So that goes there. Again, that tells me I have two numbers in my 60s, 62 and 65. And then finally I have 93 again. Okay, now the reason I did this in pencil, and it didn't turn out this way, but if any of the numbers were out of order, so for example, if I had the 5 first and the 2 second, I could erase quick and switch them around because I want this to be a numerical order. And it's a lot easier to put them like this and only erase a couple numbers than all of them. Okay, so my numbers are 28, 57, 62, 65, 75, 84, 93, 93, and 100. So what I want you to do is pause the video, and I want you to do the female numbers on your own. I have not done those yet, so you're going to check with me when you're done, but pause the video and do the female numbers. So hopefully you have the female one done. I don't have it completely done. I'm going to show you what I have. So I numbered 3 through 12 because my smallest number's in the 30s and my largest number's in the 120s. And then I went through and put the ones place. So there's a 38, a 76, 87, 87, 95, 95, 90, 107, 114, 113, 121. Now these numbers are not in numerical order because if you look at the 90s, I have 95, 95, 90. 90 is smaller than 95, 95. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to erase these 3 numbers and put them in order. Instead of 550, it should be 055. So that's what I'm going to do so that my numbers are numerical order when I go to find the median. So that's better. It should be 055. And then down here with the 11s, 114, 113, it should not be 43, it should be 34. So again, I'm just going to erase those 2 and switch them around quick. That makes it really easy to put my numbers in numerical order. So pause. This is what the female stem and leaf plot should look like. If you don't have it correct, you need to fix it and then talk about why you made the mistake you did. Okay. Now we're going to go down here. We have to find what we call a 5-number summary for our data. Here's what the 5-number summary is. The minimum number of your data, your first quartile, your median, your upper quartile. So this is lower, this is upper, and then your maximum. Okay, and we talked about those numbers. So it's really easy to find these numbers when your numbers are in numerical order. So I'm going to do it for the males. First thing is my minimum. My smallest number I can tell by looking at the stem and leaf plot versus here. They're not in numerical order and I'd have to go through. My smallest number is 28. So I'm going to write 28 for my minimum. Okay. I'm going to skip the quartiles. I'm actually going to do minimum and maximum first because those are the easiest. So my minimum is 28 and at the bottom of my list you can see my maximum is 100. So I'm going to write that down. Okay. Next I'm going to find my median. Because my upper quartile is 75% of the way, my lower quartile is 25% of the data, and the median is at the 50% mark. It's easier to find the 50% mark first. So I'm going to go halfway through my data. So a couple ways I can do this. I can kind of count in and I can go, okay, there's 28, there's 100, and then kind of count in until I get to the middle. To me, it's easier to count how many numbers do I have total. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 numbers total. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So my halfway point is 5 in from this way and 5 in from this way. So if I count 5 in, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to underline that. So 5 from the top gets me to 75. Now I'm going to count in 5 from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That puts me at 84. Okay. What's going to happen when you have an even number like I do with 10 over here? You're going to come in to two numbers. Mine are 75 and 84. You cannot have two medians. Okay, so if you come into two numbers, what we need to do is find the middle number between them. And how we do that is we're going to add them together. So I'm going to take 75 plus 84, and then I'm going to divide that by 2, and that tells me the halfway point between those two numbers, and that is my actual median. Okay, so 75 plus 84, and then divide by 2, I get 79.5. So my median is 79.5. Also, something important to note here, my median is not one of my data points. Okay, it's not one of the original numbers that I got when I asked, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be, but that's my median. Okay, now my lower quartile, Q1, that is halfway between my median and my minimum. So now what I'm going to do is kind of pretend like the upper half of my data doesn't matter. I'm going to go from 28 to 75, oops, and I'm going to find the halfway point. A fourth is a half of a half. So if this is my halfway point, I'm going to find half of that. That's a fourth, that's a quarter, that's my quartile 1. So I'm going to kind of look at the median between 28 and 75. I'm going to find that halfway point, okay? Because my median was this 79.5, which isn't really part of my data. So if I count, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points between 28 and 75. 28, 57, 62, 65, and 75. Okay, half of 5 is 2.5, so 2. I'm going to count 2 in, 28 and 57. Okay, and then 2 back is 75 and 65. So between 57 and 65, I have an actual number, and that is 62. So 62 is my lower quartile. Okay. I do not have to do the add and divide by 2 because with an odd number of points, you're going to have a middle number. It's that third number in and the third number back. Okay, so now my upper quartile is the distance from my halfway point. So now I'm going to go 84 to 100, 84 to 100, and find the halfway point. So again, there's 5, 84, 93, 93, 93, and 100. So if I count in 1, 2 and count back 1, 2, the middle number is that 93 right there. So my upper quartile is 93, and that is my 5-number summary. Okay, now I want you to pause the video, and I want you to write these words underneath the word female like I did, minimum, blah, 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 write that, and then I want you to find the female 5-number summary, and I'll go over it with you. Hopefully you found it correctly. Here are the answers, okay? Minimum, smallest number is 38. Maximum, biggest number is 121. Median is 95. So this time I have 11 digits, okay? So if you count 5 in, starting at 38, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I end on 90 right there. Then if I count 5 from the bottom, I end on 95 here, so I have this 95 in the middle. Since it's an odd number, over here was an even number of points, that's why I had to add and divide by 2. This is an odd number of points, I have 11. So this time the median is one of my data points. It's in between the 90 and 95. It's the data point in between them, not the add and divide by 2 in between them, but the data point in between, and so that's 95. Then just like over here, I had 5 points above the median. The 38, 76, 87, 87, and 90. So that middle one is this 87 that I have underlined. Here I have 5 points above, 95, 107, 113, 114, 121. And so that halfway point is the 113. That's what's 2 in and 2 up is going to give you that. So that's our 5-number summary for the females. Now turn into the next video to figure out where we go from here.